Hello and welcome to another practice. We have a fun full body practice today. It has a few fun transitions and we'll also be incorporating a few strength moves. So we'll do some repetitions to build strength in the muscles, and we'll also incorporate a few binds. Please do take the practice at your own pace. Breathe and flow. Don't focus too much on getting into a particular shape. That's not the goal of any yoga practice. So listen to your own body, go at your own pace, take it at a pace that it feels comfortable for you in your body during the practice. You can use yoga props if that helps with your practice. We do have a half moon transition and a reverse half moon transition, so if you need a yoga block for that, you can keep it close by. But other than that, we do not need any other props, and I will meet you on the mat. We'll begin the practice on all fours. Make sure that your palms are directly underneath your shoulders and your knees are underneath your hips, and fan open your fingers so you have a good grip on your mat. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest. Exhale, round your back and push your shoulder blades away from each other. Drop your belly, lift your chest. Round your back. 3 more at the pace of your breath. Come back to neutral spine. Float your left leg, point your left foot. Square your hips down onto the mat and shoulder blades are moving away from your ears. Swing your left leg on the outside of your left hip. Plant your left foot down. Stack your shoulders directly over your hips and bring your arms out in a T. Rest your left palm onto your left thigh. Gaze towards your right hand and extend your right hand alongside your ears, coming into a gate. Come back, arms out in a T. Plant your right palm down. Float your left leg, left arm alongside your ears. Every exhale, bring your left knee and your left elbow to touch. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stack your shoulders directly over your hips and back into your gate. Arms out in a T. Wrap your left hand underneath your right and either once or twice, coming into an eagle arms, and open your chest up towards the sky. Release your arms into a cactus. Plant your palms back down onto the mat. Float your left leg, float your right arm. Bring your right elbow and left knee to touch underneath your chest. For 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Plant your right palm down. Bring your left foot in between your palms and sink your hips down onto the mat towards your left heel. Arms come alongside your ears. Open your chest up towards the sky. Cactus your arms. Extend your arms. Shift your hips back. Extend your left leg. Half splits. Back into low lunge. Open your chest. Cactus your arms. Extend your arms. Shift back into half splits. Last one. Sink your hips down. Cactus your arms. Open your chest up towards the sky. Extend your arms alongside your ears. Shift back into half splits. Shift forward into low lunge. Arms come out into a T. Bring your left palm to rest on the outside of your right thigh. Right hand extends alongside your ears. Take a twist. Release your twist. Frame your front foot. Tuck your back foot and float your right knee, coming into a tiger crunch. Shift back, lift your left leg up, 3-legged dog. Bring your left foot down onto the mat. Bring your gaze towards your palms. turn your palms slightly inwards, and in your down dog, bend your elbows, bring the crown of your head towards the mat and push back for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your palms back into neutral. Knees come down onto the mat. Open your knees, bringing them in line with your hips, and sink your hips down. Come into a frog stretch. Make sure that your ankles are in line with your knees. Keep your feet flexed. Release back into all fours. Float your right leg, point your right foot, swing your right leg on the outside of your right hip, plant your right foot down on the mat, stack your shoulders directly over your hips, arms open out into a T. Bring your right palm to rest on your right leg, left hand extends up alongside your ears, gaze towards the sky. Back into a T, plant your left palm down, float your right leg and right arm alongside your ears. Next exhale, right knee and right elbow touches and release for 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Stack your shoulders back over your hips, planting your right foot. Flow into gate. Release your arms back out in a T. Bring your right hand underneath your left, bind it either once or twice and open your chest up towards the sky. Release. Bring your arms out in a cactus. Extend your arms. Plant your right palm down onto the mat. Float your right leg and float your left arm. Next exhale. Bring your left elbow and right knee to touch underneath your chest and extend for 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Bring your left palm down and plant your right foot in between your palms. Sink your hips down towards your right heel. Extend your arms alongside your ears. Open your chest up towards the sky. Cactus your arms. Extend. Shift back into half splits. Fold from your hips. Shift forward. Open your chest up towards the sky. Shift back. Half splits. Shift forward. Low lunge. Open your chest up towards the sky. Extend your hands and shift back into half splits and hold. Shift forward into low lunge. Hands come out into a T. Bring your right palm to rest on the outside of your left thigh. Take a twist. Release your twist. Frame your front foot. Tuck your back toes. Lift your back knee and bring your right knee into your chest. Tiger crunch. Float your right leg. Come into a downward facing dog. Bring your right foot down onto the mat. Bring your gaze towards your palms. Turn your palms slightly inwards. Back into downward dog and bend your elbows. Bring the crown of your head towards the mat for 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Bring your palms back into neutral. Bring the knees down. Open your knees. Come down into a frog stretch. You can come on to your forearms. Come back onto all fours. Bring your forearms down on the mat and lift your hips up. coming into a dolphin. Bend your knees, bring the gaze towards your palms, shift forward and flow through chaturanga, upward dog. Lift your hips, come into a downward facing dog. Gaze comes towards the palms, turn your palms inwards. We'll take 5 more of those push-ups in your downward facing dog. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Palms come back into neutral. Float your right leg, 3-legged dog. Right knee to chest. Plant your right foot in between your palms. Extend your right hand up towards the sky. Take an easy twist. Bring your right palm back down towards the mat. Bring your left toes directly underneath your hips and bring your right foot to meet your left. Come into a toe balance. Palms to chest. Roll onto the heels. Shift your hips back. Plant your palms behind your hips. Your fingertips are facing towards your feet and lift your hips up. Reverse tabletop. Make sure that your feet are hip distance apart. Bend your elbows, bring your hips down and push back up. 5 tricep dips in your reverse tabletop for 4, 3, 2 and 1. Bring your right foot to rest on your left thigh. Take a figure 4. Release your figure 4 and shift back into your toe balance. Extend your right leg. Take a pistol squat. Float your right leg all the way back. Come into a standing splits. You can wrap your left hand around your left shin, point your right foot and extend your leg up towards the sky. Plant your right foot down on the mat, open up, warrior 2. If you're way off the mat like I am, adjust your stance, come back onto your mat. Sink your hips down, reverse your warrior. Optional to take a bind with your right hand. Bring your left palm on the inside of your left leg, side angle. Optional to extend your right hand alongside your ears. Extend your left leg, transition into a triangle. You can bring your left palm to touch your right, coming in your triangle and hold. Use your core to come up into a reverse triangle. Bend your left leg back into warrior 2. Bring your left palm a few inches in front of your left leg. Shift forward and float your right leg in half moon. Stacking your hips. Plant your back foot down, reverse warrior. Cartwheel your arms, flow in through your chaturanga, upward facing dog. Lift your hips, come into a downward facing dog. Bring your gaze towards your palms, turn your palms slightly inwards and take 5 push-up variation in your downward facing dog. Bend your elbows for 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Bring your palms back into neutral. Float your left leg, three-legged dog. Left knee into chest, plant your left foot in between your palms, extend your left hand up towards the sky, easy twist. Bring your left palm back onto the mat, tuck your right knee and bring your right foot directly underneath your hips. Step back with your left, come into a toe balance, palms to chest. Roll on your heels, palms come behind you, fingertips are facing towards your feet. Lift your hips in a reverse tabletop. Bend at your elbows, bring your hips down and push back up. 5 tricep dips. 4, 3, 2 and 1. Cross your left foot over your right thigh. Lift your hip up. Hold your figure 4 for a breath. Release. Shift forward back into your toe balance. This time float your left leg, coming into a pistol squat. Bend your left knee, shift into standing splits. Optional to wrap your right hand around your right calf. Plant your back foot down, adjust your stance on the mat, open up, warrior 2. Sink your hips down, reverse your warrior, optional to bind with your left hand. Cartwheel your arms, bring your right palm on the inside of your right foot, left hand alongside your ears. Extend your right leg, bring your right palm to touch your left, hold your triangle, use your core strength to transition into a reverse triangle, back into warrior 2, bring your right palm a few inches in front of your right foot, float your left leg, stack your hips, hold your half moon. If you need a block for your half moon, you can bring it under your right palm. Plant your back foot down, warrior 2, reverse warrior. Cartwheel your arms, flow through chaturanga. Upward dog, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Turn your palms inwards, take 5 push-up variation from your downward dog for 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Bring your palms back to neutral. Float your right leg, three-legged dog. Right knee to chest, plant your right foot down, plant your left foot at an angle, extend your right leg and fold on over your right leg, pyramid. Engage both your legs, pull up on your kneecaps and you're hinging from your hips. Keep the back of your neck long. Halfway lift, plant your left palm down, extend your right up towards the sky, take a twist. Bring your gaze down towards the mat, bend your right leg, shift your left palm a few inches away from your right foot. Play with floating your back leg and extending your right leg, coming into a twisted or revolved half moon. Squeeze your inner thighs.
Bring your right palm onto the mat. Here is the tricky transition. Bring your back knee behind your right. Plant your left foot down. Wrap your right leg around your left leg, binding it either once or twice, and stack your shoulders directly over your hips. You're transitioning into eagles. Wrap your right hand underneath your left and bind. Sink your hips down. Release your arms out in a T. Release your bind. Bring your right leg behind your left. Bring your sit bones down on the mat. Stack your knees on top of each other. Gomukhasana legs. If you want, you can add the arms into it. Bring your left palm behind your back. Right hand extends up towards the sky and bind your fingers behind you. Release your arms. Plant your right foot. So your right knee comes away from your left. Wrap your right hand around your left knee and take a seated twist. Square your chest to the front of the mat. Plant your palms and float your left leg. Coming into a bird dog variation, extend your right hand. Bend your left leg. Float your right hand around. Grab hold of your left foot behind you and kick into your right palm. Release. Back to all fours. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Turn your palms inwards and take 5 push-up variation in your downward dog. 4, 3, 2 and 1. Palms come back to neutral. Float your left leg, 3-legged dog. Left knee to chest. Plant your left foot in between your palms. Plant your right foot at an angle. Extend your left leg and fold forward into your pyramid. Keep both your legs active. Halfway lift. Plant your right palm directly underneath your shoulders. Extend your left up towards the sky. Pyramid twist. Bring your gaze down onto the mat. Bend your left knee. Shift your right palm slight few inches in front of your right foot. Float your back leg. Revolved half moon. Keep squeezing your inner thighs. From here, bring left palm down onto the mat and take the fun transition. Bring your right knee behind your left. Plant your right foot and wrap your left leg around your right either once or twice. Stack your shoulders directly over your hips and take a bind with your arms, which is completely optional. Left arm underneath your right and hold your eagle. Release your arms, release your legs. Bring your left leg all the way around. Sit bones come down onto the mat and stack your knees on top of each other. Gomukhasana legs. You can bind your arms, bring your arms out in a T, bring your right hand to your shoulder, between your shoulder blades. Extend your left hand alongside your ears, optional to bind. You can also use a yoga strap here if you are unable to catch your fingers behind your back.
and hold. Release your arms from the bind. Plant your right foot on the outside of your left thigh. Wrap your left hand around your right knee and take a twist. Square your chest to the front of the mat. Plant your palms, lift your hips, float your right leg, float your left hand. Bend your back knee, grab hold of your back foot with your left hand, kick into your hand and open your chest. Release onto all fours. Cross your legs, come into a seated. Extend your right leg, bring your left foot on the inside of your right inner thigh. Arms extend alongside your ears and hinge from your hips, fold forward. Pull up on the kneecap of your right leg. Lift back up, square your chest to your bent knee, towards your bent knee. So you're facing the longest side of the mat. Both your sit bones are down on the mat. Bring your right elbow on the inside of your right knee and extend your left hand up towards the sky. If this is enough for you, stay here or play with extending your left hand alongside your ears. Keep opening your top shoulder. Extend out of your left oblique muscle and also keep both your sit bones down on the mat. Release. Square your chest towards the front of the mat and switch sides. Left leg extends. Bring your right foot to the inside of your left inner thigh. Arms extend alongside your ears. Fold forward. Release your fold. Square your chest to the longest side of the mat towards your bent knee. Make sure that your sit bones are down. Bring your left elbow on the inside of your left knee. Extend your right hand up towards the sky. Keep the top shoulder rotating up towards the sky. Optional to bring your right hand extended alongside your ears. Keep your sit bones down on the mat. Release. Face the front of the mat. Bring the soles of your feet to meet in front of your inner thighs. You can either stay up in your butterfly or fold forward. Come all the way up and roll onto your back. Dig into your heels, engage your lower abs, tuck your tailbone, squeeze your glutes and lift your hips up towards the sky. Bring your palms on the outside of your ears. And on your exhale, push your hips all the way up, push the mat down with your palms. Release from your back bend, hug your knees into your chest. Release your feet down on the mat and we'll end our practice in Shavasana. Stay here for a few breaths. Release all the tight muscles in your face, in your body. take a moment to show gratitude towards your beautiful body. And when you're ready, roll on to one side and slowly come back up into seated. I hope you had fun practicing with me. Please do consider subscribing to the channel and let me know your thoughts in the comments.